child's moderate to severe eczema. And they can show off clearer skin and less itch with Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists that helps heal your child's skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Monday on ET, more from London and my hilarious interview with the all-star cast of Guy Ritchie's new spy comedy.
We're all choir boys, so we're very well behaved.
Okay.
A powerful dislike, I think.
I have not stopped laughing at those guys. That was so much fun. All right, Kev, we're going to send it back to you.
Hey, Nichelle, thanks so much. We've got one more thing to show you before we say goodnight. Take care, everybody.
Will you ever...
Happening now.
It's been over a month since an NISD instructional assistant died after sustaining a head injury on the job. Coming up, we speak to his wife, who says she's still looking for answers as the investigation continues.
The House of Representatives avoiding a partial government shutdown just ahead of the midnight deadline. Why that bill, however, is not only causing chaos among Republicans, but it is threatening the Speaker of the House.
We've earned beautiful days like today. I'll be back to talk about how long this kind of weather is going to last, along with what kind of changes you can expect into the weekend, and watching the next system that could bring us a few storms. The News at 5 starts right now.
But first, we begin with late-breaking news. More than 40 pre-K students and 10 adults involved in a deadly rollover accident just outside of Bastrop. It's a massive emergency management scene that is still unfolding. Here's what we can tell you. According to Hayes Consolidated School District, it was a school bus carrying pre-K students and chaperones from Tom Green Elementary School who were on a field trip from the Bastrop Zoo. The Austin American-Statesman is reporting that the bus was carrying more than 40 students and 11 adults. And then at about 2:15, the bus reportedly crashed with a concrete truck on Texas Highway 21. According to their report, 2 people were killed, including a child, and as many as 32 were transported by ambulance bus to the hospital. There is a major emergency response. The school is trying to reunite parents with students who were caught up in the crash at the scene and at the school. We will update you with the latest details on air and online as information becomes available. And we have another major news story developing right now. The Russian news media is reporting that at least 40 people are dead and more than 100 injured following an armed attack outside of Crocus City Concert Hall near Moscow today. According to Russian reports, the gunmen were dressed in camouflage. They broke into the building and started shooting before the start of the concert. This is said to be a screenshot of video that has been released. It is 4 individuals carrying long rifles at the scene. The video purportedly shows people huddled against a wall as armed individuals begin shooting. Russian state media also reporting that officials there are calling it a terrorism attack. ABC World News Tonight is going to have more on this tragic incident coming up next at 5:30. New today at 5, the search for answers in the death of a Northside special ed instructor looming in the shadows today of his funeral. It's been more than a month since the NISD instructional assistant Alfred Jimenez, better known as Mr. Fred, died. He sustained a deadly head injury after a confrontation with a student. Well, now, in an exclusive interview, our John Paul Barajas with Jimenez's last goodbyes and the questions that remain.
He died doing what he loved to do, was taking care of those children.
The pain poured out of Margot Jimenez. Her husband, Alfred, better known as Mr. Fred, an NISD instructional assistant, died February 17th after sustaining a head injury at Brandeis High School in a special needs class on February 7th.
The last thing he said to me was he kissed me. And he said, babe, I love you. I'll see you later.
According to the district, Mr. Fred fell and hit his head and sustained a head injury while, quote, attempting to redirect a student. The Bexar County medical examiner then ruled his death a homicide, and SAPD took over the case.
He said that he could see this really big person come towards Freddie and shoved him and just pushed him.
Jimenez described what investigators told her about the incident initially, but says she hasn't received any other updates. When we asked SAPD about the investigation, they responded, quote, No updates on this case as of yet. Investigation is still ongoing. Do you want charges on anybody, or have you even thought about that at this point?
The way I see it, it's not his fault. So no, I wouldn't want to do anything to this young man. That would be awful. But I do want NISD to take action.
Jimenez is asking for more safety measures to be in place, including more staff to help current teachers. According to her husband's death certificate, he was assaulted and died due to blunt force.
One of his good friends was assaulted there as well. Never heard about it in the news.
NISD sent us this statement that reads in part, "We are unable to speak to this ongoing investigation. However, we can confirm that the district continues to assess and evaluate our current protocols and practices with respect to specialized classroom settings. For now, Jimenez continues to wait on answers, and no stranger to loss, tries to navigate her grief."
I thought losing my son was the worst thing, but he helped me through that, and I don't know how I'm going to survive this.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Such a sad story, and here is another. A man described as a good Samaritan killed overnight trying to help out another driver who had a flat tire. The 63-year-old man thrown from a bridge by a chain reaction wreck. San Antonio police say the man had just finished helping replace a flat tire on the shoulder of Highway 281 near Hildebrand just before 9 o'clock last night. Investigators say the driver of an SUV was coming off of that hill when another driver caused them to swerve. They tell officers at the scene that they did not see the Good Samaritan's trailer attached to his truck, and they hit it, forcing the victim off the bridge and to his death. Police say the driver of the SUV stayed at the scene. They were cooperative. No charges are expected to be filed. The name of the Good Samaritan has not yet been released. New at 5, less than a month after a man was killed outside of his job, police now have a second suspect in custody, charged with capital murder. A gun deal that ended up a robbery, then a murder. That's how SAPD detectives described the reason they arrested Juvan William Phillips for the murder of Cesar Garcia. It happened back in February on the 29th outside of a warehouse in the 6900 block of Northeast Loop 410 at I-35. According to an arrest affidavit, Phillips and an alleged accomplice, Kia Dotson, went to the victim's job to rob him of some gun parts, but the investigators say Garcia fought back. They say both Dotson and Phillips shot Garcia, who died at the scene. The affidavit also saying that there could be a third suspect in this case. Detectives believe there was someone waiting for Dotson and Phillips in a vehicle and served as their getaway driver. Another case, another suspect who is believed to be part of this week's armored truck heist, now behind bars. Police say Melvin Charles Hill Jr. was the other man who pointed a gun at the armored truck crew and forced them to the ground. The other suspect, DeAndre Nelson, arrested earlier this week. He's accused of grabbing multiple boxes that contained large amounts of money. Police say Nelson was on social media bragging about how he was going to go to a casino to spend a lot of money. The robbery happened on Austin Highway near Harry Wurzbach as that crew was making its rounds. Both Hill and Nelson are charged with aggravated robbery. A massive $1.2 trillion funding package now approved by the House of Representatives, but it may end up causing more chaos for Republican leadership. The bill that helps the federal government avoid a partial shutdown prompted a threat to Congressman and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson's leadership. The deal must be approved by the Senate before midnight, but Julia Benbrook explains why that is now not the headline. Julia.
Can't hear the... Well, House Speaker Mike Johnson once again had to rely on some votes from Democrats in order to get this funding package through the House. That frustrated some of the far-right members of his party, including Marjorie Taylor Greene, who threatened Johnson's job. She actually filed a motion to vacate, and that's the same process that Republicans used in order to oust former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. They did that back in October. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill spent Friday scrambling to pass a $1.2 trillion government funding package before midnight. It includes funding for a number of critical government operations, including the Departments of Defense, Homeland Security, Labor, Health and Human Services, Education, State, and the legislative branch.
There's good and there's bad. It's a bipartisan compromise.
We don't want a government shutdown. We're going to vote for this thing, even if it's not perfect.
The House did pass the package Friday just before noon with bipartisan support, fast-tracking the funding bill in hopes of avoiding a partial shutdown. Anger over the passage creating chaos within the Republican Party and leading Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene to file a surprise motion to oust GOP House Speaker Mike Johnson.
We need a new speaker. This is not personal against Mike Johnson.
Greene did not provide a timeline for next steps. On the funding package, it's still unclear if the Senate will be able to get the bill across the finish line in time. This last-minute sprint has become familiar on Capitol Hill, frustrating lawmakers on both sides of the aisle.
We're still working on last year's appropriation bills while we're trying to start on this year's appropriation bills that are supposed to be done in October. It's a terrible thing to do. There's no excuse for it.
All of this takes place in the middle of a heated election year when Congress has struggled to pass meaningful legislation. If a temporary lapse in funding does occur, but the Senate is able to pass the package over the weekend, it would likely have a limited impact on government operations. Reporting live at the Capitol, Julia Benbrook, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Julia. A developing story that has been capturing a lot of attention on this Friday. Princess Catherine of Wales revealing that she has been diagnosed with cancer. Princess Kate says she is in the early stages of treatment and is undergoing preventative chemotherapy. This comes after the princess underwent surgery back in January for what doctors believed was a non-cancerous abdominal condition. But a follow-up test after the operation revealed the presence of an unspecified form of cancer. She's revealing that the news came as a huge shock, and she and Prince William need time to process it for the sake of their young family. Princess Kate has been away from her royal duties following the surgery in January, and the news is a devastating blow for the British monarchy. Back in February, Buckingham Palace announced that King Charles III is also undergoing treatment for an unspecified cancer. Taking a look outside with live cam. Here we have it, bright, beautiful skies and dry roads. That's the good news. And the better news is it's going to stay pretty like this through the weekend, Adam, right?
You know, we've earned days like today.
Yes,
I keep going back to last summer, okay? Hottest summer on record. We broke so many heat records and whatnot that these are the days we earned, so let's enjoy them. 59 earlier this morning, 84 and sunny this afternoon. Yeah, that's above average for this time of year by 9 degrees, but it felt fine with low humidity. Dew point of 52 and a nice north breeze at 16 miles per hour. That'll calm down a little bit tonight, but it's going to be a beautiful evening. 82 officially at the airport right now, but along the Rio Grande, we're in the 90s. 93 Del Rio, 88 Eagle Pass, 85 Floresville, Bernie right now at 78 and 80 degrees even in New Braunfels. We'll talk more about what you can expect this weekend, how long this beautiful weather is going to stick around. There will be some changes you need to plan for over the weekend, and we're tracking the next system that gives us our next shot at rain. All that coming up.
Thank you, Adam. Straight ahead, it can live on surfaces for weeks. It's highly contagious, and it can make you sick as a dog. Not coronavirus, the dreaded Norovirus. The steps you can take to reduce your risk of getting sick and keep it from spreading in your home.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom, and here's what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. Men who may have had a meetup in mind now have some trouble on their hands. They're facing charges related to soliciting prostitution. We'll tell you how they got caught. Plus, the history untold of a tiny, long-forgotten cemetery in Floresville. It's on land that was once owned by a man who had been enslaved as a child. The efforts to restore the dignity it deserves, coming up today at 6. And you might have noticed the cost of crawfish is way up. It's also just hard to find right now. Coming up, what's going on with this Cajun crustacean? That and more today at 6.
Okay, this has nothing to do with the crawfish story. Nasty outbreaks of a stomach virus are now spiking, making millions of people sick across the country. Norovirus is highly contagious, but as 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz shows us, there are some ways to avoid getting sick and spreading the virus.
If you've been hit with a few days of intense nausea and vomiting, there's a good chance the culprit was a bug called Norovirus.
That's right. Norovirus is sometimes mistakenly called the stomach flu, but it's actually not caused by the influenza virus. Symptoms of norovirus: vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pains. Sometimes you can get fever, and there can be a ton of this, as many as like 21 million cases every year in the U.S.
Norovirus gets a lot of attention for making cruise ship travelers miserable, but it can spread quickly in any spot where a lot of people are in close quarters. And as any parent will tell you, that means it's very common in schools. Worse, the virus is very contagious and hardy. It can stay on surfaces such as doorknobs and handrails for weeks. So how can you avoid it?
So unfortunately, there's no vaccine for norovirus. So hand washing is really your number one thing. And that means diligently washing hands, frequently washing your hands, and thoroughly washing them with soap and water. Hand sanitizer alone is not going to cut it.
If someone in your home has gotten sick with norovirus, disinfect contaminated surfaces with bleach-based cleaning products, or make your own using 5 to 25 tablespoons of household bleach added to a gallon of water. Wash linens, towels, and clothes that might have been contaminated.
If you get sick, stay home so that you don't spread it to anyone else. Just allow the virus to run its course, usually about 1 to 3 days. Drink a lot of liquids, as severe dehydration can land you in the emergency room.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's talk about something nice.
Can we change the subject?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Ursula.
Ugh, don't even want to think about that.
Hey, beautiful day today
out there. There we go.
And like I said, we earned it. We earned this kind of weather, and we can enjoy it. And we did get some rain last night. It's not going to be all that drought denting. Coming up at 6, I'll dive into the rainfall totals on top of the drought map, see how much rain we got and where. I want to get to our weather headlines. Even better tomorrow. Yeah, very seasonable. I think it's going to be a little bit better tomorrow. Wait, stray storm tomorrow evening. That's not right. It's Friday. I updated only the front top headline.
Out of the studio. Yeah, oops.
I started doing it, then I had to leave to go record something, and I never got back to it.
Okay, it's Friday.
It's Friday. Some morning fog on Sunday, and then Monday's our next chance of rain. Maybe I just didn't click OK or didn't click save after doing that. Anyway, right? Okay, I'm blaming it on the week, yeah. Okay, moving forward. Isn't this nice to see? You don't have to plan around any big temperature swings anytime soon. It will be in the mid-70s. All weekend into next week, it's going to be great. Right around the average high of 76. A little bit warmer along the Rio Grande today. Del Rio 93, Laredo 91. We had some morning fog here, and then the clouds and rain still in East Texas. So Dallas 68 right now, Houston at 73. You look at our temperatures locally, it's nice out. 84 Stinson, 78 Bulverde, feeling good in comfort at 80 degrees. As we go through the evening, falling through the 70s, then 60s. So 8 o'clock at 74. 10 o'clock, we're at 68, and then by midnight, we're at 64 degrees. And look at the weekend. It's feeling good. Mid-50s in the mornings, mid-70s in the afternoon, a lot of sunshine tomorrow. Just plan for morning fog on Sunday, and then a fairly gray Sunday with a little hint of humidity. That's all you really need to plan around is Sunday morning fog and a little extra cloud cover. Here's the system that brought us our hail last night in parts of town, especially the northwest side. That's all moving out of here. The next system we're watching is coming onshore in the Pacific Northwest. That's this big upper level disturbance. That's going to head our way and actually amplify a little bit over the western U.S. as we get into Monday timeframe. So early next week, and that will have an impact on our rain chances. Unfortunately, not a significant impact. Probably a thin line of showers and storms developing with that. And we're just going to get clipped by some of that activity around here. So our rain chances, we get them up to 30% Monday morning, then sunshine by Monday afternoon, Tuesday, a 20% chance of a few storms popping up. But look at those temperatures. Afternoons, we talked about it feeling good. Mornings, getting a little cool into next week because of a weak cool front. By Wednesday morning, upper 40s. How about that?
Ooh. All right.
A little cool.
This is the kind of springtime we like.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Yeah. Thank you. All right, big weekend in sports. We got Spurs taking on the Grizzlies. What else?
We've got high school basketball all-star game coming up on Sunday.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Full day of basketball, which is pretty darn cool. Now tonight there's basketball going down NBA style. Spurs hosting the Grizzlies, and Wemby says he loves learning from Pop. And in the men's big dance, the Texas Longhorns are moving on. Coming up.
I thought our guys answered the bell, and I'm really excited for them and what they were able to do tonight.
Rodney Terry and his Longhorns look pretty good in the first round play in Big Board Sports. Wemby and the Spurs are home tonight to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. The Spurs did not hold shoot-around this morning, but they did practice yesterday ahead of their Southwest showdown with the Grizzlies. In 2 games against Memphis this season, Victor Wembanyama is averaging 19.5 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 blocks per game. Yesterday at practice, Wemby spent time on the court working with and learning from Pop, which is always cool for the 20-year-old.
Pretty precious, and it's something, one of the reasons that make this place the best place also. But so it's I think I've added something out of every single one of these. Even with the talk, whenever I talk with the coach, I add something every time.
The Spurs will host the Grizzlies tonight at 7 at the Frostbank Center. In men's college basketball, the Texas Longhorns beat the Colorado State Rams 56-44 in the first round yesterday. Horns guard Tyrese Hunter came to play, dominating the Rams in the first half with slam dunks, assists, and steals. Defensively, the Horns locked down the Rams, holding them to 11 first-half points. UT led 27-11 at halftime, and they never looked back, 56-44.
I think we came out with the right intensity. We know they're a really good offensive team. You got Stevens, really good elite point guard in the country. So, just come out with the right intensity, playing together, kind of having each other's backs. We were able to get some stops in that first half.
And so we thought we brought that tonight, that intensity that we had to on defense and the attention to detail within every possession and talking to each other and working together and covering up for each other when we needed to.
Number 2 in the Midwest, Tennessee beat number 15 St. Peter's 83-49, and will next play number 7 Texas tomorrow night at 7 in the second round. And the women's tournament tipped off today, and in Regional 4 first round play, number 1 Texas rolled number 16 Drexel 82-42. The Horns will next play the winner of Alabama, Florida State on Sunday.
82-42?
Uh-huh.
That was decisive.
It sure was.
All right, thank you. We'll be right back.
54 at sunrise tomorrow, 63 at noon, then 75 the high. Beautiful day. And notice that wind, not much of a breeze, just variable at about 2 to 8 miles per hour. Sunday, fairly gray. Morning fog, a little bit of dampness early, and then a fairly gray sky, but temperatures similar. Mid-50s in the morning, mid-70s in the afternoon. Morning temperatures take a little dip by the middle of next week.
All right. Thank you, Adam. Looks gorgeous. Thanks for watching the News at 5. World News is coming up next.